Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly.
Halt,
Jacques,
halt.
what's up, folks? Good morning, good evening, whatever time it is your way. We hope you're having a great day, a great week. As you know, again, the Tennessee Titans season is over. We got a lot of things to talk about, man. We've talked about Vrabel, we've talked about so many different things. Now let's talk about Rand Carthon, Jacques. It's so much, man, out there about Rand, man, as far as how everything happened with Mike Vrabel. If you look in the media on Twitter, you have so many people that's actually putting blame on Rand. Some people think he's not ready. And more than anything, Jacques, you got people like Jared Stillman, you got Paul Kaharski. You have a lot of people that are
Mm-hmm.
out there really giving Rand that work. And
Right.
so, we had to sort of dial back and kind of look at some things to see, like, okay, is this fair or not? I'm not sure, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about it. Those in the comment section too, man. You can put comments in there as well, too, man, on how you feel. So, Jacques, let's get
Yes,
this
sir.
cracking.
Let's
I got
get
a
it.
question for you when it comes to our GM and his going
Mm-hmm.
into his second year. That boy, Rand Carthon.
Mm-hmm.
Is Rand Carthon, is he currently being judged fairly?
No, he's not. Because we didn't do this with John Robinson, and John Robinson previously didn't have any GM experience, right?
Yep.
No, he's not getting judged fairly. I mean, literally, like you said, those names that you mentioned, Paul Kaharski and Jared, are really the biggest people with the megaphone in their hand really going in on Rand. Rand, first of all, he was treated unfairly in a way where he had to go to a press conference, literally give you an update regarding how your boss thinks. And you really, and it sounds like to me with them two, they haven't even, they haven't even, Rand and Amy haven't even collaborated on on what they think either, right? So he probably went in there blind, like, okay, I don't know what I'm just gonna say what I can say and do what I can do, and hopefully it transpires and the media doesn't chew me up too much. But they went in on Rand, man. They went in on Rand. It was like a bunch of angry mob just trying to throw stones at him, but he did a very good job at catching those stones and answering the questions best to his ability. I know Paul was really upset about the vision piece. What's your vision? What's your vision? Well, fool, I don't know the vision yet, but I'll give it to you when I know it. That's one thing I will miss about Vrabel. Is his way to handle our media. Not saying I'm not knocking anything with our media. Our media does their job. They're media. They got their opinions. They say what they say. But sometimes you do have aggressive people like Paul Kaharski and a loudmouth like Jared, right? And when you hear that, and when I hear, especially Jared, when he was giving his pointers of why he feels like Rand is not a good GM, I'm like, literally, where's the pure facts? It sounds like more of emotion versus facts, right? It sounds like you're emotionally ticked off because he didn't give you what you want in that particular moment. The crazy thing about it now is Rand has a humongous target on his back. That target is
Exactly.
about as big as the Target sign at the real Target store. That's how big the Target sign is on his back. Unfortunately, right? We know why. Okay, wink, wink. We know why. And so that's the problem. No, he is not getting judged fairly. Matter of fact, we got stats and statistics. Let me say this. We got things to back it up. Why me and you think he's done a good job, right? For what he's had to work with. But no, he is not getting treated fairly at all, man. That's why I
Yeah.
say trust the process. We didn't do this to John Robinson when he got hired. So why are we doing this to Rand Carthon? What about you, Hawk?
My simple answer to this is he being treated fairly? Absolutely not. I do think that, he, like, to your point, Amy Adams did him like this. Hey, you got it, bruh. Even though you weren't in
Mm-hmm.
the meeting and we didn't discuss much or whatever, you answer all the questions. Rand was really answering the questions for Amy Adams Strong on the fact of Mike Vrabel being fired and the fact that, Amy is giving Rand support for sure as far as allowing him to do his job as a GM, right? To not to have, a coach or even Coach Vrabel or anything to say, hey, we need to do this and things. She's giving Rand the pots and the pans to cook. I want you to cook, Rand, is what she's telling him. Rand's biggest positive right now is two things. Jared is sitting there saying that, he's a company guy, right? So, okay, maybe he is. Maybe he is. But what happens at times when you get too emotional up and down? Then you still gonna get judged anyway, right? So you might as well, you don't have to tell everybody what you're doing. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. He doesn't owe that to nobody, right? His job is to bring in talent from coaches to players and staff. That's his job. And Rand, to me, has done a very good job on bringing in players and those things,
Mhm.
right? Amy is giving him the opportunity to collaborate, with different, with different coaches, different players, and those things. She wants it to be more collaborative, and I respect that. And I know for a fact, I feel confident that not only will we get a good coach, we'll bring in a good staff as well too. Now,
Mhm.
all the staff that they currently have now still have a 1 year deal on their contract. So I don't know if they'll let everybody go or they're going to keep people. Some might stay, some might go. But Rand is new at his job. This is only year two. So just like in any job that you have, it takes time. He's not going to
Excellent
jump in
point.
and be like, I'm GM of the year first year. It takes time. Give him
Mhm.
time. We're going to back up some stuff too. We're not just talking. We're going to show you a visual to where we feel like, okay, so far in year one, the fact that here's another key point. Last year, we had no money, bro. None.
At
Okay.
all.
One of the worst in the league in cap space.
Yep.
And so he did the best he could to work with what he had, right? He went to Nordstrom with $2. Okay. What are you gonna get? What are you gonna get from that? A cup, right? But he made that
Okay.
that cup play. That cup was on the field. So we feel that I think right now the judgment he's getting via social media in particular and in the press and on the radio right now, as of today, is unfair. If he does a bad job, we will say that on this show too, right?
Yep.
We will. Just like John Robinson. We rode with John Robinson for the longest time, especially with the drafts he had early. But
Yep.
when them drafts started coming down, he started doing terrible. He's like, "Hey, J. Rob, you're not doing a good job. You're doing terrible." If
Mhm.
Rand has a string of draft picks that don't work out, Rand's gonna get that smoke. But for right now, we feel like he's being unjustly fair. It's been unfairly judged right now today.
Yes, he
So
is.
yeah,
Facts
man.
no
So
paper.
yep. So we're gonna look at some things that sort of bow within our argument, man, as far as why we feel that Rand is doing a good job, and then we're gonna give Rand a grade as far as what we feel like he's doing right now so far. So let's look at Rand's first year. His first year. So some of the positives we highlighted, and those in the comment section. If there's some other positives or even negatives that you feel Rand has done so far as a GM, put that down. We put down as much as we feel that we could in this situation. So Jacques, let's look at. I'm gonna go the first half of the positives. You want to go to the second half, and then we'll go over the negatives. So
Okay.
when you think about drafting Will Levis in the second round, who could be your franchise quarterback, signing DeAndre Hopkins, signing Aziz Al Shahir, and Sean Murphy Bunting. So not only did you draft a franchise quarterback in the second round, he could be our franchise quarterback. Time will tell,
Potentially.
but
Yep.
he could be, right? It's trending that way.
Yep.
That's a hell of a pickup in the second round, right? Okay. You not only picked up Will Levis, you picked up our best receiver, our best linebacker, our best corner, and it did
Mhm.
not break the bank.
Yep.
These were prove it deals. And you know what they did? They proved
Improved it.
themselves.
Yep.
I hope we bring all three of them back. To me, that's the
Mhm.
signing. Like, okay, we want to bring them back. It wasn't a bad contract. We want to bring them back. Aziz Al Shahir was fifth in the league in tackles. SMB was definitely our best cover corner. D Hop was our best receiver. That there is huge. Those are huge free agent pickups that did not kill the bank. They got paid, but they proved it too. So I really like what he did there in those first half of the positives. What about you, Jacques, on the last half?
And I agree with Tajay Spears, which of course, I had us drafting, right? You got him in the third round. I think I had us draft him in the fifth round. Got Peter Skoronski, who is as an offensive guard tackle, which he did mention that they might end up trying him at left tackle. He's first team all rookie. Look at that.
Yep.
And then he's got Arden Key, who has had success and has brought energy to the defense. So all three of these players have produced, right? Tajay Spears, again, I think he's all-purpose yard. He got about 1,000 something all-purpose yards, right?
Yep.
Peter
Yep.
Skoronski, minus him getting hurt before he had an issue, he was doing his thing, right? And it's
Yep.
still he's first team all rookie. That's a hell of an accomplishment. And then Arden Key bringing that extra heat to the defense where he's picked it up. It's a great signing, right? So like you said, for what you've had to work with, they've all produced. This whole list that we've put together, bro, has produced and has put out numbers and has elevated the team for the future, not just this year, which of course we've lost, right? We lost this year, we've lost, but this is a positive. The positives are we have something to look forward to from a Rand's resume, right? The people can say, well, I don't know if he did it. Now, at the end of the day, the GM is looked at for bringing in draft picks and signing free agents. That's what it is, and he's done a great job with the positive.
Yeah, for sure, Jacques, for sure, man. So, well, all good things. There are bad things as well too. He's not. He's got work he's got to do on some things. I think some of the negatives here is signing Andre Dillard, the C.J. Stroud, the draft leak. The whole league knew the Titans wanted to draft because somebody cracked their mouths and said something, and then the Houston Texans jumped at it, and also releasing Kevin Byard. So, Jacques, what do you think about the negatives here overall?
I mean, I can agree with him. The signing of Andre Dillard, to me, I feel like was something to try to get a spark at that left tackle position because we had just had Dennis Daly, who was super, super trash. So we're thinking that, hey, Andre Dillard can come in and be a spark, not realizing that that didn't work as well, right? And now I have confidence that they do have an analytical system in place to analyze from here going forward. Okay, we know what we don't want in left tackles. We've seen it not done correctly. Let's have a retrospective and figure out how we can fix this thing and get it going to the next level. So, yes, that is a big negative. The CJ Stroud leak, again, like we don't know how it got leaked. All we know is we heard that, hey, the Titans are interested in CJ Stroud, and the Texans were smart enough to say, you know what? We can't let this Joker go within our division, so we're going to take him and we're going to work with him. And we see how that turned out, right? Evidently, that's who Vrabel wanted for the his that was his first option at quarterback was CJ Stroud. I just that was his first, that was him all day. And when the leak happened, of course it hurts you, right? And then
Yep.
releasing Kevin Byard to trading Kevin Byard to the Philadelphia Eagles, that hurts in a way where it takes that leadership out of your secondary and your defense overall. And the secondary has struggled since Byard has been gone, right? So you
Yep.
brought in two people to make up for one person. That's what
Yep.
happened. We got a trade, and then we brought in, I think, Levi Wallace to make up for that back end. And it's worked a little bit, but it hasn't worked as just having Kevin Byard back there handling that whole section of that field. So that's how I feel about the negatives. What about you,
Yeah,
Hawk?
yeah, yeah. I think the Dillard signing, facts no paper. The Dillard signing was terrible. It wasn't. Dillard played terrible. He's probably one of the worst left tackles in the league last year from all ranking and all those things. Dillard, he struggled. You know what I mean? And the C.J. Stroud piece, yeah, that was the leak. If we have to put the onus on the GM here on as to what happened. If that was, we apparently wanted a quarterback. We did draft Will Levis, so apparently there's some truth to that, right? So I wish that could have been kept in house. Maybe where we could have traded up, but because of that, Houston jumped at it and ended up getting the Rookie of the Year. C.J. Stroud is going to be a problem in our division, and we dropped the ball there for sure. And I think the problem with Kevin Byard is what we got for him. I know he's aging. He's up to a new contract next year, but we got two really late round picks. I thought maybe we could have got a bit better, maybe earlier round picks in this. I mean, Kayvon Wallace and those guys and Edmonds, they did okay. They're not Byard, but I think that's where that's where he dropped the ball in that regard in the negative. So again, if it's something we're missing, you can put it in the comments. But we just feel like those are the big negatives for sure. So Jacques, if I gave Rand a grade, man,
Mhm.
overall as far as him as a GM, bro, I would give him in his first year a B minus, bro. I'd give him a B minus. I say that to say that I think that he did a lot more good than he did bad. And some of the bad are learning lessons, right? And as you
Mhm.
would in any job. So in your first year in any job, if you get graded a B minus, that means you did a pretty good job. If you got an A or something like, whoa, you aced this. Maybe this not the job. Maybe you superseded, right? Maybe you need to do something
Right.
else. But I give him a very strong B. I give him B minus when I look at the positives and the negatives. I think he can improve on learning more about signing maybe linemen. He's got to do better with that and those things, and making sure information is at. I think he learned from. That's why he's being quiet. I think he's learned from that. To say I'm not going to open them. I'm going to keep it. If I'm a company guy, if that's what you want to call me. I'm still getting paid. I'm bringing players. At the end of the day, it's all about results. If I bring results, you can't say nothing. So
Mhm.
I give him a strong B minus. What about you, Jacques?
I'm gonna give him a B. And like you said, what he's been able to accomplish with little, really little to work with from a money perspective, and trying to finagle and trying to figure out, okay, how can I make this work versus this, and making this work versus that. Like you said, we all have process improvements that we need, right? We got a process, we got to improve on it. My bad, I'll figure it out, right? And I think he acknowledged that in the interview, where he has to get his face out there more. He has to talk more, right? And so he knows what he has to do. He has a board that he has, and he's like, man, I need to do this right, this right, this right, this right, this right. And but again, the B, yes, he gets a B from me for his first year. He matter of fact, he had less to work with than what John Robinson had to work with when he came into when he became the GM. John Robinson had a canvas to work with. He had a whole entire team to work with. Rand is putting this thing together piece by piece by piece, and from what he's been able to do from the groundwork of it, he's done a good job. Now he really gets to paint his canvas this off season to really say, okay, hey Rand, what you got? Talk to us, right? Do your thing.
Yep. 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 And to your point earlier, Rand does have a target on his back, and I think it's unfair to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see how things play out. You know what I mean? You know, we'll see how it plays out. But all I ask, man, and my hope for him, I want him to succeed. Cook,
Yep.
Rand. Just cook, Rand. Keep cooking, bro. Keep learning. Keep getting things together. You'll do great, man. We support
I
you.
agree.
So, yeah,
I
man.
agree.
So, well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the show, y'all. We want to say thank you all for watching the show. We appreciate everybody, tuning in as always. We are on Bleacher Report. You can check us out on Bleacher Report. We're the official Titans Bleacher Report podcast. Check us out. You can check us out on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly. We're on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7. You can check us out on Apple and Spotify. We are in those internet streets.
Yes, sir. And when you do check us out, leave a like, leave a comment, share the content, and get it out there, man. And we really appreciate y'all. And take us out, Hawk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Well, as we always say and as we always do, Jacques, facts.
No paper.